Alright y'all, gather around because today we are diving headfirst into the chaotic, messy, and downright embarrassing downfall of one of the internet's most hated clout chasers, Johnny Somali.
You know Hiroshima, Nagasaki. You know why you do this?
Yeah, that dude who thought harassing people in Japan was a personality trait. Spoiler alert, it wasn't, and it backfired badly. He is the human embodiment of what not to do on the internet. If ignorance was a sport, this dude would have an Olympic gold medal. Yeah, that's the level of downfall we're about to dive into, so grab your popcorn because this is the tragic, hilarious, and utterly embarrassing story of how Johnny Somali fumbled his entire existence for clout. For those blissfully unaware, and consider yourself lucky, Johnny Somali's real name, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, was an IRL streamer who made a name for himself by being an absolute menace abroad. Now, this grown man traveled to Japan, shoved the camera in people's faces, and said the most unhinged, racist, and offensive things he could think of, all in the name of content. So how did this IRL streamer become so famous? Well, shock value. The classic internet formula. Be as loud, disrespectful, and problematic as possible. And boom, instant infamy. One of his signature moves, if you can even call it that, was crashing Japanese internet cafes and convenience stores, blasting loud music, yelling at customers, and refusing to leave when staff asked. And then, in a true display of zero self-awareness, he started targeting tourists too. Mocking them, following them around, and making racist remarks towards Asian Americans and other foreigners visiting Japan. The irony? He was a foreigner himself. Bro really woke up one day and said, "How can I get cancelled in record time?" To catch you up to speed, here's a timeline of his greatest, or rather worst, hits. Johnny made headlines when he began harassing Japanese citizens by screaming,
Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know.
Referencing the atomic bombings of World War II, because nothing says comedy genius like work rhymes. This disrespectful stunt earned him global backlash, but instead of apologizing, he doubled down, calling his critics haters. He claimed he was just trolling, but even his supporters started questioning his sanity. Public outrage grew as major news outlets picked up the story, with many demanding platforms like Twitch and YouTube to take action against him. Japanese citizens even started petitions to ban him from entering the country. During his time in Japan, Johnny also harassed passengers on public transport, disrupted local businesses, and illegally entered restricted areas and hotels, all while live streaming. At Tokyo Disneyland, he played music containing the phrase "atomic bomb" and recorded visitors' reactions without their consent. Atomic bomb. He justified it as content, but locals and authorities weren't amused. He was caught multiple times forcing his way into restaurants and refusing to leave, causing major disruptions. Footage of him being escorted out of establishments by security went viral, solidifying his reputation as an unwelcome guest in Japan. After months of trolling Japan, Johnny finally got what was coming to him: an arrest. Osaka police detained him for trespassing and disturbing the peace. And the best part? It happened while he was live streaming. One minute he was taunting the police, the next he was looking absolutely shook as they slapped the cuffs on him. His arrest was widely celebrated online on Twitter, now called X, and users were making memes about his downfall. The Osaka District Court fined Ismail 200,000 yen for obstructing business by playing loud music in the restaurant. Following his arrest, rumors swirled that Johnny was permanently deported from Japan. While some sources claim he left voluntarily, others suggest that he was strongly encouraged to leave and never return.
Go inside, brother. What's up? What is that supposed to mean?
You are not funny guy, but you are wanting you.
What is that? Is that supposed to be a threat?
Be prepared. Be prepared. We are watching you.
Making a threat.
Wherever you go, you go to Thailand or you go to Korea.
What are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do to me in Thailand?
We are watching you.
Either way, Japan collectively breathed a sigh of relief. His sudden disappearance from Japanese streams led many to believe that he had been blacklisted, though he never publicly confirmed his immigration status. On April 5th of 2024, he slapped up photos of Harvey Weinstein, Aiden Ross, and Jeffrey Epstein at the Western Wall, which is one of the most sacred sites in Judaism, sparking a public outrage for the disrespectful act. Days later, he livestreamed himself harassing a female police officer in Tel Aviv, calling her a bitch before getting arrested for interfering with police work. Fresh off his Japan L, Johnny decided South Korea was next. He crashed a live music performance, hopping on stage uninvited like he was the main act.
Wow! Wow! Very nice! Wow! Amazing! Wow! Wow! Jumped on the stage. They're not even doing nothing about it. Oh, get down! Down!
Not satisfied with just ruining one event, he took his antics to public transport, blasting Kim Jong-un's speeches on the subway. He continued his pattern of harassment, which included walking into restaurants without paying, filming people without consent, and making offensive remarks about Korean culture. His behavior escalated quickly, with him mocking locals' accents and making inappropriate comments about Korean women. South Korean netizens quickly caught wind of his antics, leading to widespread online condemnation. Some Korean streamers even confronted him live, calling him out for his disgusting behavior.
Yo, yeah, you better walk away. You better not show me on your stream, you'll get banned.
This is where things took a turn for the worse. Johnny went viral after kissing and twerking on South Korea's Statue of Peace, a memorial for victims of Japan's wartime sexual slavery. Public outrage exploded overnight, with South Koreans demanding he be arrested immediately. This wasn't just offensive, it was criminal. People took to social media to demand his immediate removal from the country, with local politicians even making statements condemning his behavior. Karma struck when a 29-year-old man called Yu Dal-kun, who was a former underwater demolition team soldier, got fed up with Johnny's antics and punched him in the face during a livestream. Not only did he get rocked, but his phone was also snatched and destroyed. Even though violence isn't the answer, the internet collectively agreed that this was long overdue. Clips of Johnny getting decked spread like wildfire, with reaction videos flooding TikTok and Twitter. South Korean authorities basically hit Johnny Somali with the ultimate "you're not going anywhere," slapping him with a travel ban while investigations into his actions were ongoing. On September 6, 2024, Johnny Somali pulled the classic "I'm sorry, but not really" move, filming an apology video right next to the very statue he disrespected. Viewers weren't buying it though. Most agreed he was only sorry that his antics finally had real consequences. Unlike Japan, where he got away with a slap on the wrist, South Korea wasn't playing around. Seoul Southern District Prosecutor's Office indicted him on obstruction of business charges. This charge stemmed from his October 17th stunt, where he caused a scene at a convenience store by spilling ramyeon noodle soup all over a table. Legal experts suggest he could be facing up to 10 years in prison, proving that not every country will tolerate reckless, offensive behavior under the guise of content creation.
You can see exactly what he says here. And this because it hit the Korean news in a double sort of way, it's absolutely going to kill him. Let's play this.
Do you admit the charges? Is there anything you want to say? Do you admit the charges? Don't you want to apologize?
He went from a wannabe prankster to possibly spending a decade in a foreign prison. His arrest was seen as a major victory for those advocating against toxic internet influencers. Johnny Somali proudly flashed a purple emergency passport in a video, acting like he just scored a golden ticket out of South Korea. He was all hyped up, thinking he could finally escape his legal troubles, but plot twist, the passport was basically useless because, surprise surprise, he's still stuck in South Korea with an ongoing trial.
This actually answers one of my questions. Okay? So what question does this answer? Well, it answers whether or not his passport was taken. And it shows that he in fact did have his passport taken, because the normal American passport is blue. That passport was purple.
The night before his trial, in a now infamous livestream, Johnny Somali confidently laid out his genius courtroom defense. His master plan? Show up in court, claim to be mentally unstable, left his medication in America, and plead insanity. In his delusional mind, this would magically convince the judge to let him off with nothing more than a $500 fine and a pat on the back.
Hello to the people of Japan and the people of the world.
March 7th, 2025 was Johnny Somali's big day in court. But in true clown fashion, he showed up an hour late, blaming a stomachache. He also waltzed in rocking a Make America Great Again hat, which he was asked to remove before proceedings began. Despite his usual arrogance, Johnny pleaded guilty to 3 out of 4 charges. His next court appearance is set for April 9th, 2025, where the consequences of his actions will become clearer. After his South Korea arrest, social media erupted with memes celebrating his downfall. Kick banned him, his revenue dried up, and his legal troubles got so serious that even his most delusional fans started jumping ship. The ridiculous saga of Johnny Somali has still not come to an end, as his trial is still ongoing. But his story serves as a perfect reminder that disrespecting entire cultures, harassing strangers, and being an all-around public nuisance doesn't make you famous. It will probably make you end up behind bars. It has already happened again quite recently, when he was temporarily arrested a few days ago for going out in public only wearing his undergarments and mocking authorities. While he was suspended from streaming from the one remaining site that has not banned him, Party, this was only a marketing stunt orchestrated by said streaming platform to conceal evidence, generate publicity, or both. To add to all the atrocities he has already committed before this incident, Johnny can be seen harassing the streamer Nana, who ended up reporting him to the police. So, what's going to happen to Johnny Somali now? Well, if justice is served, he'll be spending a long time reflecting on his choices behind bars in South Korea. But this is what you get when your entire brand is based on harassing people for views. But don't worry, it is not the end yet. We will see how this drama unfolds as the trial continues. Speaking of trials, another prominent personality is also facing backlash and lawsuits. Blake Lively. To know more about her story, check out the video on the screen right now.